You know my answer.
You have to pick one.
What do you mean I have to pick one?
You have to pick which one you think is more true.
I think if I had to pick which one is more true...
Are we alive in 5,
4, 3,
2, 1?
Woo! We're back. I'm back after 3 weeks. I'm so sorry. Welcome to the Binc Film Podcast. I'm your co-host, Joshua Rivers, and across from me is the EGB, Eric Gordonberg, your host for this evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time you watch. We don't care.
I would like to say welcome back, not so co-host, and I'm glad to see you received permission to be here.
We're not going to touch on that. It wasn't my fault. So, we got a lot of stuff to cover today, so I'll give you a quick run through of what we're going to be doing here. Our main topic today, we're going to talk about animated film and anime. That's right. If you're an anime or animated film fan, this show is for you. We're just going to talk about it. Movies, animes, films, shows, everything in between. We're going to cover as much of it as we possibly can. But first, we want to cover what's happening in the world of entertainment and media this week. And I'm going to start it off with something that is very near and dear to my heart. First things first, we have a release date for Charlotte. When is that?
We do. It will be Friday, October 20th.
I love that. Why not Friday the 13th? I feel like you guys missed one.
We're doing a screening on the 14th and we're not ready.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So there you have it. October 20th. It's happening. I actually just sat down and watched it. You're gonna want to see it. It's really good. It's really, really good. I just got the opportunity to actually sit down and watch it. They filmed my reaction. I don't react a whole lot when I watch films. But it's really good. And I can't wait for you guys to see this. It's going to be really awesome. The next biggest thing that I wanted to talk about is our Minnesota Twins have finally, for the first time since I was 11 years old, won a playoff series. Let's give it up. Give it up for the Twinkies. Let's go. He's knocking on a glass. All right.
Where's your glass?
It's over here. I drank half of it when I was watching Charlotte.
Oh, I took your...
It was that bad, huh?
I gotta get hammered through this movie,
I
man.
took your stand away.
You did. You stole my stool.
You lost privileges, which is why at the end of this episode, we will be doing round 2 of the Gauntlet.
The Gauntlet, so I can get my bench back for
yeah,
my
let's
drink.
quick talk about the new features we got.
Yeah, so if you're watching this, obviously you find out that, or we found out rather, that we have we've transitioned a little bit here. We've moved the Binc Film Podcast from the Binc Film main page to its own page. So we can keep our Binc Film page specifically and exclusively about film, short film, and indie filmmaking. And the Binc Film Podcast can become whatever it evolves into, which means we can talk about anything. Which means if you have things that you want us to talk about, you can tell us that. We may or may not do it.
What fun segments do we have coming up at the end?
We have... Binc Film Podcast outline.
They're over here, too.
Intro. Welcome to Binc Film Podcast.
God, you are so
Weekly
rusty.
recap.
See what happens when you miss time?
I'm messing with
Eric,
you.
read them.
No, I can do it. It's my job. So what we're doing every week is we wanted to add a little bit more spice into this and make this a bit more entertaining for you, the viewers and listeners, because you guys make this, right? So we're going to have trivia. Trivia is going to be happening at the end of each episode because you guys loved watching me lose my mind with Attack of the Clones trivia. So they're going to find something else
It's
spicy.
not just trivia, though. It's the Gauntlet. This is your chance
to become a co-host.
Yeah. You have to pass the whole Gauntlet, though. So there's stakes to this. It's not just trivia.
I'm already a co-host.
You're not.
So, yeah.
No, you would have been here last week.
I keep forgetting you
were.
have headphones on so you can hear me. I feel like it's real
Yes.
intimate when I'm talking to the camera and I'm like...
And then we also have a new little game we're going to do.
I don't have that on my list here.
It's called Overrated, Underrated.
I have that on the list here.
And it's gonna be kind of like a would you rather kind of game.
And we also have suggestions. We're gonna make suggestions to people because you care what we think, right? Anyways, so the Minnesota Twins have won their first playoff series since I was 11 years old. First series in 21 years. That lets you know how old I am. There's a dead giveaway. Sorry.
Being a Minnesota sports fan, I would like to talk about something else that nobody really cares about, which is the new Assassin's Creed game.
That just launched today, actually. And I would love to tell people if it's good or not, but the UPS guy, apparently that package is signature required because I got the collector's edition, so it's not...
No,
it's not in my
collectors?
house. Oh, I'm a sucker for plastic statues. Oh, yeah. My basement is littered with thousands of dollars in plastic.
I can tell you how the game's going to be.
It's going to be good.
You ready?
No.
Go buy a PlayStation 3.
And play Assassin's Creed 2 or 3.
No, it's not going to be that good. Put in Assassin's Creed 1, play that, and that's what you just bought for $150. It's getting a little bit of mixed reviews. It's Metacritic. I looked today.
Oh, they are the just
well, hear me out.
peak of reviews.
Hear me out. It's sitting at around a 70.
Yeah, there's no user reviews.
Right.
Excuse me.
So it can't be bombed then.
Right.
So it's sitting at around a 70, but
I know people like to rip on Game Informer, but I've honestly, and it's not because I think Game Informer is some guru of reviews. I just noticed that my taste tends to line up with their reviews. So I like, if they gave it an 8, which means I'll probably enjoy it. What I do appreciate about it is apparently it's obviously a shift back to the roots of Assassin's Creed.
Which people have been asking for.
Which people have been asking for. And I don't necessarily need it to be a return to the roots. I love Assassin's Creed 2. I love Assassin's Creed 3. I love Brotherhood, those OG style Assassin's Creeds. I actually am a big fan of Syndicate too. But I also really liked Odyssey. Origins is probably my favorite Assassin's Creed, which is a newer style. But this return to the roots, what I appreciate about it is the map isn't big for the sake of just being big. You know, apparently you can accomplish the game in about 20 hours, which is great. That's what I'm looking for. I want, 20 hours, a couple of nice sit-down sessions, and then, an additional 10, 15 hours of me going through and collecting all my loot and hunting for the secrets and whatnot. That, to me, is perfect.
So I was reading some of the reviews on this because I'm curious. After Valhalla, I'm just, done with Assassin's Creed.
Dude,
and
can I pause you real quick? You played Valhalla, right?
I did.
What'd you think of it?
That was the first game in my life where I was skipping cutscenes by the end of it.
I wasn't skipping cutscenes, but I think I made a mistake in how I played it, because I was like, I'm gonna go through each area, and I'm gonna collect as much stuff as I can, and then I would spend so much time collecting loot and finding all this stuff, and then I would go back into the main story, and I'm like, I don't remember what's happening.
Dude, the first 20 hours of that game, I was having the time of my life.
The sieges are cool when you rush in with other Vikings, and it's a lot of fun.
So people obviously wanted to move back towards the original kind of feel and style of the game. So I was reading some of the reviews on Mirage, and it sounds like it's good. It's back to classic Assassin's Creed, but at the same time, it sounds like it doesn't really do much different.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like now they went too far back.
Here's what I'm going to do for you. This would make a great topic and a great standalone episode. So we're going to rush right past this, and we're going to dive into our main topic today, which is animated films.
Well, hold on. I got one other news thing real quick.
Oh, let's hear it.
Did you see The Creator?
I don't even know what that is.
You haven't heard of that movie?
No.
It's that new movie with the AI.
I think I may have seen a commercial for it.
There was tons of trailers for it. Hans Zimmer did the music and everything.
Did he really?
So this movie...
Orchestral Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Pretty much.
I love you, Hans Zimmer.
Yeah. So this is something that I find interesting about people who talk about movies.
Okay.
There's this thing that happens with movie fans where they say that Hollywood does not come up with any original ideas. They just remake things. Oh, all they do is remake. They can't come up with any original ideas, And they come out with a movie like this one, which, given it's not like a super original idea, but they come up with this new movie and nobody goes and sees it.
And then it bombs, and everybody's like, why is there no original
Yes.
movie? You know what else that happened with? The Last Duel.
I didn't see that.
With Adam Driver.
That was the one that had 3 different perspectives, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
Yeah, I wanted to see that. I just didn't get around to it.
It was really good, and I was like, I can't wait to go see that. I wound up not being able to see it in theaters for whatever reason, but I rented it immediately when it came out, and I watched it, and I remember reading about it. They're like, yeah, this thing tanked at the box office. It lost a lot of money. It was a James Cameron film.
Well, you want to hear something even more depressing about The Creator? That movie was made for $80 million.
Oh, God, and it probably didn't make a fraction of that.
And that's a tiny budget for how this movie looks.
Yeah.
You would think this movie was $300 million.
Damn.
So $80 million, it made like 14 and was third place opening weekend. So, moral of the story, if you're one of those people that says Hollywood doesn't make anything original, go see the movies that are actually original.
Support your local movie theaters. I know the prices aren't that great, and for those of you that can't afford it, I understand it. But if you have the time and the funds available, support your local movie theaters. If you don't want to see them go away, we got to keep them in business somehow. So let's get into our main topic here. We're about 6 minutes past where we said we were going to start it. So let's jump right into it. We're talking about animated films, shows, and animes. This is something that I grew up with anime and animated films, and I think everybody grows up with animated films because we all start watching Disney and Pixar and what's the other one? DreamWorks.
Yes.
That's what it is. And we watched those films growing up, and they leave a pretty special place in our heart, I think. So I wanted to ask you, when I say animated films, what's the first one that comes to your mind?
I don't know. It'd probably be like Monsters, Inc. or something.
Monsters, Inc. So are you a DreamWorks guy or a Disney guy?
So here's the thing with animated films. I was never super into them.
Really?
Not for any reason in particular. I don't know why. I just
didn't get into the genre?
I just didn't really. So I couldn't tell you the difference.
I got big into animated films because, like I said, I grew up on them. The first animated film I can remember seeing, and the first one that comes to my mind, is The Land Before Time.
Oh, yeah.
And anybody who has seen The Land Before Time will tell you that first one is soul-crushing.
It is.
I don't know what it is with children's movies and making shit way too serious, but they love to do it. So that scene in Land Before Time when his freaking mother dies, and spoiler alert, and she's laying there and she's like, "I'll always be with you." And 6-year-old me didn't care. I was like, "Oh, weird. That funny-looking long-necked dinosaur is just having a bad day."
I bawled the first time.
Did you?
Happened,
I think my mother softened the blow. She's like, "She's not dead." And I was like, "Okay, Mom wouldn't lie to me." And the dinosaur dies, and then he thinks he sees her later because it's his shadow, and it looks like a big dinosaur. He's like, "Mama!"
We should watch
and he
that.
runs. Why? Do you want to watch me weep like an idiot?
I watched, though. I know I just said I didn't really get into animated movies, but I watched those like crazy as a kid.
Yeah, the Land Before Time movies.
Yeah.
They were all good. They made like 36 of them, and they were all phenomenal.
So I'm just saying it would be interesting to go back and like the nostalgia of seeing that. You know?
I watched that movie again. So after childhood, I think I bumped into it when I was like 16 or 17 years old. And I was like, I used to watch this as a kid. I was just home alone one night, put it on, or it was on TV. I sat and watched it. And that scene comes up where she dies. And I was like, damn, this is kind of intense. But like, all right, well, I'm a guy, right? I'm going to hold it together. And that scene where he sees his shadow and he's like, "Mama!" And he like books after it and the shadow gets smaller and he's just all innocent and alone there. And I'm like, oh my God. Why? That movie, there's so many like kids movies that I watch that hit 10 times harder now that I'm an adult. Fox and the Hound, I can't watch it. Physically can't do it. It makes me sob uncontrollably. And funny story about the Fox and the Hound. Have you seen The Fox and the Hound?
I don't remember that one.
What the hell?
If I saw an image, I might remember
It's
it.
Todd and Copper, Todd the Fox and Copper the Hound.
I don't know. I think Jamie's pulling it up.
There. Thanks, Jamie. It's
I
Michael,
can't
our director.
see that.
There's a song in that movie where she Are you showing him?
Yeah, it looks.
Does it look familiar?
It looks vaguely familiar.
Okay. So, Michael, stop. I'm trying to tell a story. You're breaking the flow. So there's a song in that movie where she drives out to the woods because this hunter wants to kill the fox, and she's raised this fox from a baby because he was orphaned because the hunter killed his mother. And she takes in this fox, and the hunter finds out that she has the fox, and she's like, I'm gonna kill that fox, is what the hunter says. So she's like, I gotta release him. Like, I can't have him here. He's gonna get hurt. So she takes this fox that she raised as a baby, drives out into the middle of the woods, and there's a song that's playing. This is "Goodbye May Seem Forever," and it's just, it does everything it can to just be like, is that your soul? Let me just borrow that real quick, and then just rip it out of your chest. And she drops the fox off in the forest, and he's like, cool, like, we're going on another adventure. And she takes his collar off of him. And he's like, that's weird. And then she gets in the truck and dips. And he's sitting there looking at her like through the rearview mirror. I'm going to start crying talking about this. He's sitting there staring at her in the rearview mirror. And he's like, what the fuck? Like, where are you going? And she just dips. Just leaves him in the woods. And I'm like, you can't do that. So when I lived in Washington, me and my ex-wife had this apartment, and there was this cat that would show up. We called him Baxter. And he was just this outdoor cat. Thing looked like he P90X'd. He was like missing half an ear. He had like bigger biceps than I did. Just this yoked-ass cat. But he was an outdoor cat. And so we would leave a little bed outside for him, and he'd sleep in it, and we'd put food outside, and he'd eat it, and we would always say hi to him. And then when I got stationed in San Diego, we had to leave. And we were packing up all of our stuff, and we're getting ready to leave. And then, because I guess the world just loves putting me in positions where it's like, you gonna cry, you little bitch? You gonna cry? And I think the world just likes to do that to me. We're getting ready to leave, and we're getting ready to walk down these stairs, and fucking Baxter comes up the stairs. And I'm like, oh, shit, Baxter, like, good to see you, buddy. And my ex-wife is all sad, and she starts crying because we're gonna say goodbye to Baxter. And I'm like, hey, it's gonna be okay. And we sit down, and she goes on YouTube on her phone and starts playing that song from The Fox and the Hound. And I'm like, I actually got like upset. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, what? I'm like, turn that off. Are you kidding me? Were you trying to like make me suicidal before we drive to California? Just playing this somber ass tune while we're saying goodbye to this cat?
Okay, I'm gonna shift real quick to a different not sad.
Okay.
I have the most vivid memories. I don't know if you would remember this or if you were even there. At my grandma's house as a kid, she would put in this movie all the time.
Is it an animated film?
Yes.
Because that's our topic today.
Yeah.
I know.
Thanks.
I'm sorry.
Who's the host?
I think it was called Totoro.
My Neighbor Totoro?
I think it was that
Big
one.
ass cat?
Yes.
Yeah.
That thing, to this day, scares me
No way,
more
bro.
than anything
Oh my
I have
God.
ever seen. When it's like sleeping in the woods. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. I've seen the movie. It was one of my ex-wife's favorite
Oh
films.
my God, that movie disturbed me as a child.
Dude, I like that movie. I thought it was good.
God.
It looks like a giant Pokemon.
He kind of does.
The
But
way
it's that Japanese
smiles,
anime style.
though. It's just get it away, dude. Like
It's that Japanese anime style. It's all like
and
super
it like
fun and
smiles too, and it's I don't know why, but just as a kid, I thought it was so scary, and now it's like
there are anime films and animated films that are very much like oriented towards adults. Like it's very much like have you ever seen Grave of the Fireflies?
no.
Oh, don't watch it. It's soul crushingly sad, and not in like a Fox and the Hound. Like I can't believe he left the Fox. It's about the atomic bombings in World War II, and it follows this Japanese soldier like trying to protect his little sister after the bombing, and it's God, gut wrenching. Really, really good. And it's always been interesting to me how anime and animation. It started out for children, right? And I keep in mind, I didn't do any research on this topic beforehand. Maybe anime and animation was developed for adults and it just took off with kids. I don't know. I just remember it being for children. So calm down in the comment section. I remember it being for children. And it just turned into like this thing where everybody, like there's so many people my age, and maybe it was my generation, that love anime into their adulthood. Like the amount of people that I hang out with that are in their 20s and 30s that talk about like, oh yeah, I was sitting at home watching Inuyasha the other day, or Naruto, or One Punch Man, or Attack on Titan, and all these animes. I think that's why animes that are more adult themed work so well these days, because the kids who grew up with them are adults now, and so they're awesome. The best anime that I have seen recently, and well, it's an anime film, was you know about the Netflix show The Witcher, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's awful. It's awful.
Season 1 was fantastic.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
This kid doesn't know about The Witcher because he doesn't own a computer to play a game called The Witcher.
Who?
You.
I've literally played the games, Michael. I've read the books too. What? No. They don't even follow the source material. Don't start with me. They made the show is cheeks, but they made a movie, an anime movie called Nightmare of the Wolf, and it is badass. It is so fucking cool. It's my favorite animated film that I've seen in a very maybe ever in a very long time. It is so good, and I don't mind anime. There's some animes that I watch. Like I grew up on Dragon Ball Z.
I never got into that.
You didn't?
No.
What? That's crazy.
It's just like 45 minutes of.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
For like 25 minutes and just explosions and hair flying up in the air.
You're not wrong, but it's awesome when you're a kid. I remember. You're not wrong. There are
show
episodes.
that I thought was awesome as a kid was Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack was the shit. Samurai Jack was the shit. You're not wrong about DBZ. There are episodes where it's just 35 minutes of, and that's just the whole episode. My favorite one for that example is the episodes. I say episodes because it should have probably been one, but it was like 6. When Goku's fighting Frieza, and he does this attack on the planet Namek, and he's like, "You've got 5 minutes before this planet explodes, Kakarot." And then that 5 minutes stretches 4 episodes. And it just keeps going. And it's like, we had 5 minutes 4 hours ago. What are we doing here? I also really got into Gundam Wing. Gundam Wing was my favorite anime. I still watch Gundam Wing. Gundam Wing is phenomenal.
Did you watch the Netflix, what's that Blizzard game, the shooter game?
Overwatch?
Overwatch. Isn't that what it was? They made an animated... Or no, not
Maybe.
Overwatch. It was... Oh my God.
Help me out here.
Someone's screaming in the comments right now. Maybe it was Overwatch. They made a... Look it up. They made a Netflix animated show of...
Just type in Blizzard Netflix animated.
Yeah, it'll probably come up right away.
Spoiler alert, it doesn't.
It was really popular when it came out. It was probably like a year or two ago.
Couldn't have been that popular. I've never heard of it.
And a lot of people were saying that you don't have to know anything about the game to watch it. And apparently it's like the greatest animated thing ever.
I think Blizzard, if they had any brain in their skull, the cutscene, the trailers that they make for their games are so good and so awesome looking.
Sorry, what? Maybe it was called like Arcane or Arcana or something.
I don't think it was Blizzard.
No?
No, I think that's the problem I'm running into.
But since we're on the topic of Blizzard, have you watched the trailers for their games?
Some of them,
for the WoW expansions or
Arcane?
Yeah.
Is that it?
What is that based on? What game?
A lot of dead space to fill here.
Just keep talking. Oh, it's
On the-
Riot Games.
Oh,
Riot.
nobody knows what that is.
They made Valorant.
Oh, I never played it, so. But, like I was saying,
Well, you should check that out. 'Cause
I should
heard
check
it's
that
really
out.
good.
the cutscenes from Blizzard, like if you ever watched the Diablo 4 trailer,
Mm-hmm.
dude, I'd watch a show of that.
Yeah?
It takes place from League of Legends. Which
League
is
of
only
Legends.
the world's largest video game
Oh,
ever.
okay, yeah. I've heard
That's
I've heard
what it
people
was,
talk about League. I'm
League of
not gonna
Legends.
I don't want to touch on video games too much in this episode because I want to do an episode about video games since we have our own thing now and we can talk about whatever we want without Michael strangling me at work.
No, I still have things that you cannot talk about.
Well, right, yeah, but we're not going to talk about like or anything like
Don't
that.
even say that word.
I won't even say the P word.
We can't even say...
I'm keeping a list over here of all the swear words you say so that I can remove them.
Oh, bleep them.
I'm going to remove the word you just said a minute ago.
Oh, the Tix P.
The P word.
The P word. It's so crazy to me that just saying that's a trigger. That's going to get somebody to dive in there.
It probably flags the video.
It probably
Seriously,
does.
it probably does.
It probably puts us in a... Okay, so we're gonna scoot right past that because I'm going to get yelled at again.
We got to get going on our games pretty quick here.
What do you mean our game?
So,
oh, yeah.
Do you have any closing thoughts on anime?
I think my closing thoughts is that I am very impressed with how far we've come from anime and animated films. Like, if you look at what we grew up with, right? Toy Story. Still looks great today. Still looks phenomenal. But look at the movies that kids get today. I love kids' movies today. I sat down. It's funny to me because, like I said, my girlfriend's got a 4-year-old. And she'll throw on a movie for her. And I'll walk past it and be like, what the f*** is that? And then I'll sit there and just, not really pay attention to it. And then I'll come back 5 minutes later and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then next thing I know, I'm like, all right, well, I'm sitting on the couch now, just watching this movie. That's
Yeah.
what happened to me with Sing and Sing 2. I was like, what's the singing giraffe about? This is stupid. 20 minutes later, I'm sitting there singing along with it, like bobbing my head and waving my arms with her. They've come so far and they're still so good. And anime and animation are one of those things that transcends, it's timeless. It's timeless. Good anime and animated films from 20 years ago will still be good 40, 50, 60 years from now. It's one of those things. It doesn't have the impact or it doesn't have the problem that
Star Wars
I was
has.
literally just about to say it. I was literally just about to be like,
So it
you
is a
say
problem.
Star Wars has.
So it is a problem.
It's not a problem. But they don't have to worry about that. You can't say like, well, the graphics, like, well, it's an
I hope he
animated, like-
edits this as a clip, and right after you say that it's not a problem, it replays you
Yeah,
saying
it just goes
that it's a
and
problem.
cuts into me saying, you
And
see
then-
the problem with Star Wars,
And then it can and then it can do
jumps
it in
around.
slow motion. The problem
with Star Wars.
Okay, well,
Great.
speaking of Star Wars, I want to move into a little game. Now, this is something new, so I'm just gonna do one of them today, and if we feel like we need to do multiple more, maybe we will, because it's
I don't
just
think we have time.
it's just kind of like, I mean, in the future, it's kind of like a quick little one-off thing. It's called Overrated, Underrated.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you one thing that's overrated
That you think is overrated.
and one thing that is underrated,
That you think is underrated.
and you have to pick which one.
This is literally just meant to pick a fight.
You have to pick which one you agree with more. Okay? So it's like a would you rather.
I'm gonna get torn in half in the comments. Like that's not fair.
The rules. There's one rule.
What's the rule?
If you decline to answer, you are permanently not co-host.
I mean, I'm gonna answer.
So I'm letting you know.
Why are we
that's-
painting bullseyes on me? Why is it always me who has to deal
We
with
have
the
to-
wrath of the
we ha-
comments section?
You will do the over under next time.
There was a guy who said I threw tantrums as a child. He's like, that's the kid that lays down on the floor and freaks out when he
I
doesn't
can't
get his way.
control how you act on here.
It's fair.
All right. Overrated, underrated.
Here we go.
You have to pick one. I'm going to say
We'll say something.
Star Wars original trilogy is overrated,
No.
and Attack of the Clones
underrated.
is underrated.
You know my answer.
You have to pick one.
What do you mean I have to pick one?
You have to pick which one you think is more true.
I think if I had to pick which one is more true, can it not be Attack of the Clones? Can
No.
we say
No.
it's the prequels?
No,
Prequels in general.
No, Attack of the Clones.
Why is it 3 movies for overrated but only 1 for under?
Okay, fine. The Empire Strikes Back is overrated. Attack of the Clones is underrated.
I'll go with Empire Strikes Back as overrated, just for the simple fact that it is a very good movie. It is very, very good. But there are people that are like, this was a masterpiece of filmmaking. And I'm like, I don't know about that. But it is a
Now,
phenomenal
let's go back
film.
to the original trilogy versus episode 2. I liked him trying to figure out an answer for that one better.
I'd probably have to swallow my pride and say that people dump on episode 2 a little bit too hard, myself included. For the simple fact, don't let him point at the camera on you, okay? It's not, none of it fucking matters. None of it matters. Yeah, write that one down. I'm about to just start ripping cuss words through here. The reason I say it might be a little bit underrated is it does have some okay moments in it. Like there are some cool parts in it.
Like Jar Jar.
Jar Jar's in episode 1. I don't even know if he's in episode 2.
He is.
He is. He's a senator at that point.
He's
Yeah.
not in it much, but he is. Mostly just the beginning.
Isn't that the one where all he does is freak out? Like,
Yeah. Obi!
Obi! Reese, I've been waiting so long to seize you!
Okay, so now that you said that Attack of the Clones is underrated,
No,
I'd
that's
like
not
to,
true. That's not what I said.
I'd like
You're
to
like,
move
I'm gonna
on.
clip that.
I was held hostage. He's like, he's got to pay one.
It's the game. Next time you can come up with one for me.
Oh,
okay?
I've got trivia for you next time.
No, it's not trivia. It's overrated, underrated.
Trivia's next, right?
We are doing trivia next.
What do you got?
So moving on to trivia, as we're almost wrapped up here. If you weren't here the last time we did trivia together, Josh is so desperately, pathetically wanting to be co-host.
It's not just me. It's what the people want.
Can I finish?
No. That's another thing people got mad at me for in the comments. Like, I get so sick of him interrupting
Why
you.
is he always interrupting? Why is he so mad that he has to do trivia? Because we didn't add any context about the fact that
There was none.
Your co-host title was on the
Yeah.
line.
I get so sick of this guy interrupting things. Start your own podcast then. Quit.
Okay, so
Write that down.
last timestamp. Last time.
I'm gonna read these timestamps to you after with the words.
So the last time we did this, hold on, let me pull this up.
It sent me into a blind rage.
Where did it go? I don't think it's
You're
saved.
not even prepared.
I don't think it saved the.
This is 31 minutes long
Yeah,
so
it
far,
didn't
and like
save 'em.
6 minutes of it. Oh, you don't have any trivia.
I clicked save to my phone and
All
it
right,
didn't
put some
save.
dead space in, and we're gonna cut.
No, we're not. Don't. You're not. Stop.
No, we're gonna trim it. Is what I mean. Like we're gonna.
Stop.
Oh, this is just going in.
Oh, I found it. I opened the other one. Oh, it's because I hit save to chat. Okay,
Oh.
I got it.
See, we didn't even have to cut. Like this is. We never even left.
Okay, we are moving on. Trivia. So last time we did Attack of the Clones trivia, which we will do again, but not today. You must pass the gauntlet to become
Officially
co-host. So last time you passed. However, a lot of people said that I went too easy on you.
Because of Gundarks.
Yeah.
Come. Write
Well,
that down.
like you said, it's what the people want, right?
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready for today's trivia?
I am. I'm feeling
5
zesty.
questions.
Spicy. Because I'm ready for it, I'm gonna fail.
Today's questions
What do they
are
relate to?
on the movie
Twister.
Twister.
I should probably do pretty well on this.
You should. You said you've seen this thing 1,000 times.
But now I'm under pressure, so it's like, can I perform? So, sounds like a Viagra commercial. Anyways.
All right. Question number 1 for
Hit it.
you to become co-host. What year was the movie Twister released?
Ooh, 96.
Ding!
Yeah.
Correct. Who were the main 2 actors in Twister?
Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton.
Correct. Oh, you're flying through these. In what year did Bill Paxton die?
That was 2006, 17.
17?
Yeah.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm impressed. I mean, kind of not impressed, but impressed.
All right,
I
best
remember
out of 7. Hit him with 4 hard ones.
Yeah. I remember, the only reason I remember that is because the place I was working at the time, you could use the computer to go on Facebook, and Facebook posted like, oh, the Twister Facebook page, which I follow, posted that Bill Paxton died, and I was like, what? And then I immediately turned on Twister and put on Facebook. I'm like, this is for you, Bill. It's too much, I know.
Okay, moving on.
Yep.
At a dinner table, referring to an F5 tornado,
Finger of God.
who says the line, the finger of God?
That is. Oh man. I can give you the guy's description. It's the guy who drives the
We need a
station.
name.
I'm thinking about it right now. It's the guy who drives the station wagon, wears glasses. He gets his head cut by the hubcap that flies through. Write that one down. In the working pit when that one tornado goes to the drive-in movie theater. What is his name?
Tick tock.
Dusty drives the van. Belzer drives the other car. I forget that other chick's
You got
name.
10 seconds.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know his
To
name.
see how upset he is when you say this name.
It is Jason Preacher Rowe.
Preacher. That's who it was. Okay. The name Preacher stuck out. I couldn't tell you his full name.
All
Do
right.
they say it in the film?
I don't know.
I don't think they do. I really don't think they do.
Final question. What was the yellow vehicle in Twister
What was it?
model?
Oh, it was a Jeep Comanche.
What year?
86, I believe. What was it?
82.
Oh.
Hit him with 2 more.
I'm going to get credit for that one. You say, oh, give me the make and model, and then I give it to you, and
The
you're like,
answer
oh, what
is
year?
1982 Jeep.
That's not what the answer is.
It is literally on there.
Okay, well, then I gave it Comanche, so I missed the first half and gave him a bonus second half.
Okay,
That's
you-
full credit.
You did pass, but we'll give you 2 extra credit questions.
Dude, I'm down. You can keep these coming for the next 45 minutes.
ready?
I'm ready to box.
Ready?
Let's get it.
Who says, "Okay, boss lady, hold your horses"?
Belter.
Correct. God,
It's when he's in the van, she's on top working
nerd.
on the Doppler.
you're loser. Is
Belter,
more
Belter,
like it.
Belter! Give me a reading, due east. Okay, boss lady, hold your horses.
What was Joe's last name?
Harding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, would you like to do a suggestion for the listeners as we
Can you
wrap
give me
this
2
up?
more? Give me 2
No.
more. 2
No.
more. 2 more.
So you can show off your Twister
Yes.
trivia?
This is my one shot, man. Come
We're
on,
gonna
give me
kill
2
him
more.
next week.
Oh, God.
In GTA.
In GTA. When you said that, I'm like, I'll kill him. And you're like, in GTA. In GTA.
Okay, here you go. What word was written on Melissa's cup that she was holding when she first met Joe?
Ooh, that's good. She's got that. It's a. Oh man, it's a clear plastic cup, and she's drinking lemonade out of it. And I don't remember.
Happy.
Is it just happy? I would have never guessed that.
Eric, I need the sound.
Thank
you.
Next time, I'm going to have a little surprise set up for you, by the way.
Fair. Give me one more. Last one, and we can roll out.
All right, here's a tough one. One of Jonas's crew members is on a popular TV show as of June 2001, but not a main character.
Ooh.
What show is he on?
I don't know.
ER.
The new ER, or the old ER?
I'm guessing old because it's 2001. That's the old ER, right?
I'm trying to.
Or
think
no,
of who it was.
I'm thinking of Grey's Anatomy. I don't know anything about ER.
There's a dude. There's a member of his crew that was in something relatively, like, big film, and I can't remember what it was. But he's the guy who says wind speeds are approaching 150 in the funnel. Like if you saw him, you know who it was. But yeah. Anyways,
Suggestions, let's hear them.
suggestions. What do you want me to suggest?
Just one suggestion, anything.
It can be a movie,
I
it can be a
suggest-
show, or it can be a video game.
Okay. Okay. So
And
I'm
do
gonna-
it in less than 9 minutes.
Yes. Okay. I suggest that you watch Witcher: Nightmare of the Wolf. It's on Netflix. If you don't have a Netflix subscription, you can't even borrow them anymore, can you?
No.
You're gonna have to get one. I'm sorry about that. But Witcher: Nightmare of the Wolf. If you're a fan of the films, if you're a fan of the games, the books, even the show, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's absolutely phenomenal. It is a great, great movie. Sorry, it is an animated movie. It is shot in an anime style, so it's very much, it's very over the top, which I love. It's absolutely fantastic. You can't go wrong with it. You're gonna love it. Give it a shot. Witcher: Nightmare of the Wolf.
Check out the movie The Creator. It's not going to blow your mind, but the visuals are amazing, and it's a fun sci-fi movie.
Yeah. I say yeah like I've seen it. I haven't seen it, but he's probably right. He wouldn't lead you astray. Except when it comes to my co-hosting. Then he would lie to you. I wouldn't.
All right. Hit the outro.
Boom! So thanks once again, for taking your time to be with us and watch the Binc Film Podcast. We know you got a lot of options when it comes to entertainment and content out there, and it really means the world that you're willing to spend your evenings, mornings, afternoons with us. It really, really, really means a lot to us. So thank you so much for spending time with us. You can find us on social media at the handle Eric Gordon Berg on everything. He's on everything. But you know what we're not on? We're not on Instagram. None of us.
The podcast says Binc Film is banned on Instagram.
The podcast is on Instagram?
Yep.
We're on Instagram!
No, Binc Film's not on Instagram. So
Binc Film Podcast is on Instagram!
nobody really cares.
I'm on Instagram. I've got like one post. You can find Eric Gordonberg at the handle at Eric Gordonberg on literally everything. You can find our director, Michael Darwinberg, at the handle Michael Darwinberg on quite literally everything. You can also find me on social media. I don't post a lot, and I'm working on that. I've said that for a handful of episodes now, and I will get better. I promise. I'm working with Michael on that.
We'll talk about the Instagram thing on the next episode.
Oh, we will?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so you can find us everywhere. YouTube, Spotify, TikTok. That's where I recommend you look. If you enjoy this, you might want to check out our main page, Binc Film, where we talk about everything independent filmmaking. You can see all of the independent films that Binc Film has put together, and it's a really good treasure trove of fun, unique little films that you will most likely enjoy. So share it with your friends, share it with your coworkers, and if you hate it, you should share it with the people you don't like, because then it helps everybody, right? Because you'll hate it, and we'll still get views and likes and whatnot, and that'll help me, right? Because I'm hungry.
One last little thing is we have our set schedule. It's going to be every Monday at 8 a.m.
Every Monday at 8 a.m.
And when we are more ambitious on weeks, we will be posting Thursdays at 8 a.m. But it will be every Monday at 8 a.m.
So find the Binc Film Podcast every Monday at 8 a.m. Like a Tim Hortons coffee. It's just going to be hot and ready for you first thing in the morning. Can we say Tim Hortons?
No.
Like a hot and ready coffee.
Cut!